very early, but he's been spectacular. He gets a bronze. Silver medal, another loss, Paul George. In a great game against Memphis, game that came down to the very end, Paul George gives them 41-10 on 60% shooting, but not quite enough for a win. Tried to pull him back at the very end. He gets the silver. And the gold medal goes to C. Anthony. Not Cole Anthony, who almost got a bronze, but Carmelo. Not only for bailing the Lakers out, but for passing, I would argue, the most underrated, historically great player ever, Moses Malone. He did win 3 MVPs, America. On the all-time scoring list, Melo, 9th all-time scorer. He's coming for you, Shaquille O'Neal. That's who's 8th. So Carmelo, for a night where he passes Moses Malone, bails the Lakers out, he gets the gold medal, Broussard.
I like the list, Nick, and I'm glad you gave Melo love. You know what I'm glad? I have debated with people. I've said Melo's the first ballot Hall of Famer easy, and people have pushed back on me over the years. Him making the top 75, that seals it, right? First ballot Hall of Famer, and there was no debate.
Yes.
I didn't hear anybody saying, oh, what's Melo doing on there? He definitely, yeah, exactly. Melo is a great player. I know he hadn't won a title, but he is a historically great player. I'm glad he had a tremendous game last night in passing or moving into, what, 9th place. So good for Melo. Good listening.
Yep, next up, Shaq. All right, Kevin Wildes, who just missed the cut?
Oh, look at the Joker. This is one of the best passes you've ever seen in your whole darn life. Through 3 people. That's why Joker's the 78th best player in the history of the NBA. Back-to-back MVPs, not ruling it out. Feels like that's a hot take no one's got. I might take it just for, you know, it's a bargain. Great pass from the Joker.
That is awesome. Wow.
Back to our top story now. Knicks Chiefs getting molly-whopped by Derrick Henry and the Titans. Is it red alert time for Kansas City?
To talk bad about the Chiefs.
They got
I object.
crushed.
Molly-whopped.
Built to serve.
Back here, time now for Wilds, Weird, and Wonderful. And guys, we got ourselves a World Series. Braves closed out the Dodgers in Game 6 Saturday in Atlanta. Eddie Rosario hitting a 3-run home run in the 4th. Braves never look back. So here we go. Braves-Astros, Game 1. Tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, only on Fox. Pretty wonderful start time, 7:30. KW, what else you got for us?
Oh, we'll start with the weird. Seattle versus Sporting KC. Christian Roldan blocking the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper ends up rock bottoming him. Here we go, a little WWE action. Ref said the takedown lacked brutality, so only a yellow card for both guys. Sporting KC wins 2-1, scoring 1 fewer point than the Chiefs. Moving on to the wonderful. Rockets up big on the Thunder Friday night. Here's Jalen Green. You know what I love? Great missed dunks. And Jalen Green is going after Ja Morant. He had a great dunk yesterday. This is a shockingly good. Mike Muscala misses out on the poster royalties. Rockets beat the Thunder. They're moving on to the weird. Sorry about that one. Got confused by the dunk was so good. One of the weird, Oklahoma versus Kansas. Caleb Williams hands it off to Brooks and decides to take it back, get the first down on his own. Some people say it's illegal. Some people say it's a great play. Oklahoma wins, stays undefeated, currently ranked 4th. Alabama jumps them in the standings. Wonderful. More Thunder, this time in Philly. Baisley tries to dunk on Embiid, and Joel literally spikes the shot like a volleyball. Sixers win, Thunder win less. And finally, the weird 3rd quarter of a 5-3 game in New York. Pettis with the toss to my man Danny Dimes. Was it the wisest play in the world with Jones taking a big shot at the end? No. He did provide a great highlight. Joe Judge gets the win. Hey, got the win, buddy. That's where we're in Wonderful from National Pastime.
Are they trying to get him hurt again? What are they doing?
What a great call.
Running the no-huddle. Start in Tampa, where the Bucks wasted no time putting it on the Bears, led 21-0 before the 2nd quarter even started. Tom Brady, his usual flawless self, 4 touchdowns, including number 600 for his career. That one to Mike Evans. Like Wild says, it's like he's just toying with the rest of them out there, effortless. Tampa cruises to their 4th straight win. They're now 6-1 on the season. I got to ask you, Broussard, are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the best team in the NFL?
Yes, Jenna, they are. Nick, I expect to see them atop the tiers this week, although I'm betting you go with the team I said should have been above it, last week, which was Arizona. People may say Arizona because they're undefeated, but look, in a big game, who you taking? Tom Brady or Kyler Murray? It's as simple as that. The Rams, that defense isn't quite what it was last year. The AFC powerhouses are up and down. Buffalo still hasn't beaten a team with a winning record yet. So I'm going with Tampa Bay. I think Tom Brady is, as I predicted in the preseason, right now the MVP. I believe it would be him. They got the best receiving core in the league. Didn't even have Gronk and AB yesterday, and it was ridiculous what they did. That Chicago defense is good. It's sixth best defense in the league, seventh best in terms of points allowed, and they just mincemeat out of them, scored 35 points in the first half. Leonard Fournette, guys, I've been saying it. I think he's a Pro Bowler, 100+ yards from scrimmage in each of the last 4 games, or he's averaged over 100 yards from scrimmage the last 4 games, catching and passing. The biggest thing for me, though, is the improvement of the defense, and I get it. It's been a light schedule the last 4 weeks, but still, they have allowed fewer than 15 points a game on average over those last 4 games. I think Todd Bowles is beginning to improve this defense. So, yeah, Wiles, I would go with Tampa Bay right now as number 1.
Yeah, I probably would, too. I mean, this game was over early, Nick. Tom Brady now has 21 touchdowns, most yards in the league. I would have pulled him probably a little bit earlier, but he was gunning for that 5th touchdown. I think if there's any sort of flaw in Tampa Bay's game plan, is that Brady really has his eyes set on this MVP. This game, there was no chance the Bears were coming back. Justin Fields was totally overmatched. I would have put in Nick Foles, to be honest with you, letting Foles try to work some Brady magic. But I think Brady is gunning for that MVP. Then it's been so easy for them. I wouldn't be surprised if they got a shock in the next few weeks and come down to earth. They're just playing with so much confidence. I think it teeters on overconfidence.
Well, let me start with your point. They are obviously trying to juice Brady's stats. Brady had 200 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. And like you were mentioning at the end, they're throwing the ball on the goal line repeatedly from inside the 3, trying to get him his 5th touchdown. I'm fine with that. Like, Tom Brady totally remade that franchise in his image, took them from a team we never talk about to a team that's in discussion for best team in football. So if he wants to win MVP, and by the way, it's a long, how many MVPs did you pick before the year, Broussard? We got Jameis. I thought you said Gio Bernard. Now we have Tom Brady as well. It's a long list of MVP picks. But I mean, I can't even remember all of them. Josh Allen, I am sure you said at some point. But by the way, big week next week for Broussard's actual MVP picks, Brady and Jameis, because they play each other. But so here's the reason why I'm not comfortable calling them the best team in the NFL. We've seen them play 2 good teams, and they barely beat one and lost to the other. And this is where I think the schedule could work against them. Now, I do think Broussard's going to be right. I think Brady's going to run away with MVP. Because what are they going to be? 14-3, 13-4 at worst. But they're going to get. They have played 2 teams with a winning record, and the rest of the way, they might only have 1 more game against a team that finishes the year with a winning record, and that's Buffalo. So I think they're going to have an amazing record and amazing numbers. I do have a concern, though, whether or not they're going to be tested enough. And so I'm not ready to call them the best team in the NFL because somehow, some way, they won the Super Bowl and got the easiest schedule of any team in the league. I don't know how that happened, but it clearly did. But they are playing excellent football on both sides of the ball, Jenna.
Who's not the best team in the NFL? The Chiefs. They played the Titans yesterday. Talk about a lopsided game, and not the way most of us expected. Titans provided the molly-whopping in this one. Derrick Henry throwing a touchdown, running for 86 yards. Ryan Tannehill and A.J. Brown took care of the rest for the Titans, who pulled off a statement win for the 2nd straight week in the AFC. Chris Broussard, is it time to consider the 5-2 Titans real contenders after beating the Bills and the Chiefs?
Why not? I mean, yes. Look, they're not the favorites in the AFC. But they got to be a contender. Like I said, Buffalo hasn't yet beat a team with a winning record. Baltimore's up and down, and they just got destroyed by Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati is a little too young, with Joe Burrow at quarterback in his second year to be a true contender in the AFC as far as getting to the Super Bowl. The Chargers, a bit inconsistent themselves. So, yeah, I think you got to throw them in the pack in the AFC. We know they have the great run.